Hi, Seven.
Hello.
What were you poking me with?
Oh, well, you weren't here and you were just sitting there, so.
Ah. Is Archangel causing you guys problems?
Why do you ask? Oh, yes, to some extent. Well,
Let me
not
look at
yet.
this picture.
All I have to say to that picture is, oh, that's not happening.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's why I said, no, that's not gonna happen. He hasn't actually responded yet to my PM because he's like asleep or something. But that's not gonna happen, so how about no? I love how he even says standardizing the hull. It's like so you basically want to make SS the like the same
Really? You
ship.
want them to be even more homogenous than they already are.
It's like you want them to be basically the same ship over and over. Okay then. How about no? Are you sure you should be working on SS Arc? If this is what you want to happen?
Hey Ark, how about you switch from SS to OW?
I don't think Onyx Watch needs any help, and they're already actually pretty standardized because their faction aesthetic design kind of allows it. Since it's the same, it's a very defined, strict style that they all have to abide by, like the same castle look. So standardizing the turret works well. And also, since they don't go into the hole, they don't have to work with the space in a hole.
I don't like the idea of standardizing help. I just don't like the idea of standardizing anything, really.
Yeah, me neither. Everything should be specific to design. That makes it the best design possible.
Like earlier, you're going to freaking standardize the Stratostorm's upward firing missiles. Is that where you're going with this?
We're not going anywhere with this because I'm saying no, and I'm the lead lore keeper, so I say no.
I don't even know what to do exactly with stripping off fucking armor from my Kyoko class cruiser because that will do nothing.
What do you mean? The goal with that is block count, I believe. What's the block count of it right now?
Mages said to strip off about 1.5k.
And everything's to be under 10k now, so that's probably why.
I know, but
Does it use the new diagonal beams?
How many blocks does the Kyoko currently have?
I don't even know myself because I don't really look at it that
Press
much,
V on the
but
vehicle. Like hover over and press V.
because I'm not in game yet. I'm not in game.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me when you're in game.
Alright. I'm just trying to get some guy who knows how to balance shit. But before that, how many, and what wait, no. Let me rephrase this. What wave height, like for example, because for use in campaign, so what wave height do you use to determine if the ship has enough buoyancy?
So don't look at me.
Basically, most ships have a black water line, or like a black line on the water line. That's where it should be at. Though yours probably already at your set correct height.
I think you want it to be 2 blocks above the
At
water.
least. Yeah, at least.
Like,
1 block is approaching very, very low skimming things like the monitor, which is obviously not what that should be.
I'll try to keep it around the area of like 2.5 from the deck meters.
Alright.
And the whole thing is literally beamed. The regular blocks, not the triangles or anything.
Do you have you used
But-
in here? Use the new slopes that are added, like the new diagonal slopes?
Yeah, I use new slopes. I try to replace every 1 meter downslope with the new slopes, and it did reduce block count. I don't know by how much, but by not a very significant, but a very
It'll
noticeable
probably
amount.
reduce it by like a few hundred on a really large ship. It's
Yeah,
not
a
going
few
to make all
hundred.
the difference though.
Yeah, it depends on the design. Some designs, like
It
the Bull
lowered the
Shark,
Devil's Curse's block count by like 300 or something.
the Bull Shark, if you've seen it,
It
that thing
did
uses
lower.
like almost exclusively 1 meter slopes, so that thing could probably shave off a ton of blocks from it, maybe even a 1k. That might be a bit too optimistic, because if you spawn it in, it just has a ton of that.
Yeah, I think I shaved off 800k when the middle, not 800k when the first middle ones came out. When the first one came out, I shaved about like 200 to 400, and when the alloy came, I shaved off about another 400. So that was Gucci. And I haven't used the new 4M triangles, unfortunately. I mean, I would love to, but the way I'm looking at it right now, I just don't think it'll like, I'm not sure. That's the word I was looking for. Just not sure. I know she'll have a block count, but I'm just not sure if it's gonna look the same ever. It won't. But I just don't want to ruin the style.
Yeah, well, you don't have much other option. Like you'd have to get rid of enough blocks to get under 10k. And even then, it's gonna have to be like
Yeah.
renamed from a cruiser to like a battleship or something, because that's gonna be the largest, allowed, like 10k units.
But it's not necessarily a quote-unquote battleship because
Too bad
3
for the
main
block count,
guns
it should
and,
be
like-
considered one. It would be rather weird to call something that's the largest vessel allowed, like largest vessel size allowed, a cruiser.
just call it a heavy cruiser and just be on your way.
Nah. Maybe I'll call it a battle cruiser or something. I'll have to do testing before I decide.
I mean, I did this, but then I overwrote the blueprint with the previous unchanged version I had because I was like, nope, I'm starting over this again. I shaved off like 1 alloy layer that was on the bottom to keep it floating, and I added propellers and I added turn propellers, and I just messed it all up. And I didn't want I don't want people doing that stuff. You know, fixing up my complete mess instead of a partial mess. So I just overwrote the blueprint, and now I'm just trying to, lift it up from the water a little bit with upward facing propellers. Fix the list problem by just, I don't know, hydrofoils and turning propellers. And just be on my way,
Okay.
if that's even possible. But the thing is, I can't really do it myself. I'm gonna have to consult somebody who really knows how to balance ships with hydrofoils and upward, facing propellers, side propellers, etc.
Does it get more narrow as it goes to the bottom? Like, does the Kyoko get more narrow towards the bottom? assume it does.
It only goes narrow by 1 meter increments on the.
Yeah, but it slowly gets more narrow as it goes up.
Yeah.
Right. That design makes very hard to do upwards facing propellers.
But it's
Because you
not
have to,
that
like-
narrow because it's. Here's the thing, like.
It's not very
Once
narrow.
the metal ends, they when the alloy begins, that's when it starts sloping down, probably by 1 meter.
Wait. Did you just say that there's alloy, that it goes metal, then alloy on the bottom?
It goes metal on top, then alloy on the bottom.
That's horrible.
I mean, that's just how it is.
What?
That's the worst thing
It's
ever.
really bad.
Yeah, it still works.
But badly.
That's still really bad. Should be the reverse. Like, if you want balancing, then you need metal bottom, alloy top.
I did put alloy partially into the metal.
Regardless, you should have alloy on top, metal on the bottom if you're gonna do anything like that.
Or pure metal if you don't have balancing foam.
Well, yeah, I meant like if you're to do anything like that. Normally, I don't use alloy for balancing. I use alloy for buoyancy instead.
That's what I'm doing.
That's sort of
Also
what I
for
meant
balancing
for
to some
balancing,
extent.
But I don't want, like, for example, the fucking bridge to be all shiny. I'm like, what the fuck? And
It's
the
not
rest
all
of the
shiny
hole
if
is
you paint it
metal.
correctly. You just have to paint it right.
But still, it kind of does give off that shine when the sunlight hits.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
Somewhat. So that's what I don't want to do. And that's the problem.
Possible.
Be right back.
I mean, here's what I may be able to do, but it will probably it will reduce the survivability of the ship from above. What I can do is replace a layer of the, because the deck is actually 2 layers with alloy. But of course, the alloy is on the inside rather than an outside layer. So that's what I'll probably try to do if I can't really get anybody to balance it with, then let's say maybe
Channel switched. Channel switched.
Also, do you just want shields around the parts that always get hit?
Cover all with a layer of 2 level 10 shields spaced 5 apart. That would probably require an engine rework, but that's acceptable, even to use the glitchy cylinders at this point.
I mean, my engine provides like 40k power. That's fine.
Not enough for dual level 10 shields spaced 5 apart all around the ship.
All around, as in sides, deck.
As in like a universal covering, except on the underside.
I mean, the middle is like 3 layers of armor anyway. I probably won't put shields on that. I mean, the whole thing's like 2 layers of metal. Not really metal, but 2 layers of armoring everywhere. Except for the bridge. Because that's just aesthetics and, you know, weight issues and all that crap.
Whatever that noise was, please don't do it again, whoever did it.
That was McCall.
Like, oh, please, use push to talk.
Alright, he disabled his mic, so it should be good. Well, I'm gonna try and find my block count for the Kyoko. At its current one. The one I uploaded to the forums. Because, you know, as I said, I fucked up balancing and just don't want to give anybody the complete mess it is and just restart. I don't want to give anybody extra work. I don't feel like being that guy. I know this is already going to be a stupid question to ask, but do ion engines, any size of them, go have backwards thrust in water mode?
Have what?
Backwards thrust.
I don't know. Test it out, see.
You know how backwards thrust can be used on those corporate jet liners and propeller
what?
planes?
Yes.
Does it do any of that on huge ion or small ion on in the water mode?
I don't know. You'd have to test. I don't use ion engines very much.